Hello everyone, welcome to Numeric Learning. In today's video, let us solve all the exercise questions of your chapter 3 NCERT exercise questions of the third chapter, which is pair of linear equations in two variables. So there are three exercises and all the three have got a variety of questions. So today let us start with exercise 3.1. The very first question is form the pair of linear equations in the following problems. You have to form the pair of linear equations and find their solutions graphically. The first question is, there are two questions under this. The first question is, 10 students of class 10th took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. So you have to form a pair of linear equations. So whenever you have linear equations, you will have variables in them, and in our syllabus you have got two variables. So whatever you have to find, that is find the number of boys and the number of girls. So you have to take this as a variable. So let's get started. So the solution will be, let the number of girls let the number of girls be denoted by x, which we have to find using graphical method, and let the number of boys be y. How many students are there in total? The very first sentence says 10 students of class 10. So the total number of students is nothing but 10. So x plus y will be equal to 10. This is your first equation. And the second equation is, if the number of girls is nothing but x. Okay. If x, the number of girls x is nothing but 4 more than the number of boys. X is 4 more than means plus 4. The number of boys, how have we denoted the number of boys? As y. So x is nothing but y plus 4, right? X, number of girls is x. Is nothing but equal to 4 more than means plus 4. The number of boys is y. So this is how you form a linear equation. So let this be your second equation. Now you have to solve it graphically. Now in order to solve the graph, let us first find out the points here, right? So here minimum 2 points are needed. Okay, so x and y, let me take x and y. So if suppose your x is nothing but 5, for example, what will be y here? If x is 5 plus y equal to 10, then y is also equal to 5. So this is your first point in order to draw the straight line graph which this particular equation will be representing. Okay, and the second one is, suppose you are taking your x is nothing but 6. Suppose x is 6, then 6 plus y equal to 10. What will be your y? Y will be 10 minus 6, which is nothing but 4. Okay, so 2 points are sufficient for you to plot or draw a straight line, and that straight line is nothing but, it is this equation that you are drawing as a straight line. Okay, so straight line graph is representing this particular linear equation. Now let's move on to the second equation, that is x equal to y plus 4. X is equal to y plus 4. This is your second equation. Now let us find out the points x comma y. Suppose your y is 0. What will be x? X will be 0 plus 4, which is nothing but 4. Right? This is one of the point. Suppose if y is minus 2, what will be your x? X will be 4 minus 2, which is plus 2. So this is your second point. So I think 2 points are sufficient. Now let us plot it. Now let's draw it. For the first equation, the points are 5 comma 5 and 6 comma 4. It's always x comma y. Let's plot it. So 5 comma 5, where will it be? Let me change the color. 5 comma 5. So here you have 5. 5 comma 5 is here. 6 comma 4 is nothing but 6 comma 4 is here. And let me draw a straight line joining the 2 points. Okay, so this is the straight line. And above that line, I have to write what equation is represented by that straight line. Which equation is that? It is x plus y equal to 10. Write that equation as it is. Now let's go on to the second equation, that is x equal to y plus 4. 4 comma 0 is the first point. So here it is 4 comma 0 and 2 comma minus 2. So 2 comma minus 2 is here. So let's draw a straight line joining the 2 points. This is the straight line joining the 2 points. Let me just make it proper. Okay, so here this is your straight line, and here also let me just change it and make it more accurate. Yeah, now it's correct. Okay, so let me write what is that equation. The second equation is nothing but x equal to y plus 4. So x is equal to, your x is equal to y plus 4. This is the second equation. And where do these two lines intersect? That's your solution. Where do they intersect? They intersect at 7 comma 3. So 7 comma 3 is this point. Can you see this? 7 and 3. So this is the point where both the lines intersect, and that point of intersection is the solution of the equation. So you can write down, therefore it is observed that the lines intersect at 7 comma 3. Okay, therefore x equal to 7 and y is equal to 3 is the solution of the equation, is the solution of this pair of equations. So therefore what is x? The number of girls. Therefore the number of girls is nothing but 7, and the number of boys, which we assumed initially as y, yeah, number of boys is taken as y, so number of boys will be 3. Number of boys is equal to 3. This is your final answer. So it would have been much easier to do it in an algebraic way. In case if you're asked the same question, and if you're only given the question and not specified how do you have to solve it, you can use the most convenient way of doing by either substitution or elimination method. And either ways, whichever way you solve, you'll still be getting the same answer. Okay, so this is your first question. Now let's move on to the second. The question is, 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 50, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Find the cost of 1 pencil and 1 pen. Whatever you have to find, that is what you have to take it as your variable. So we can write, let the cost of 1 pen, let the cost of 1 pen be rupees X, and cost of 1 pencil be rupees Y. Right? Now form the linear equation. What is it? If 1 pencil is rupees Y, how much will be 5 pencils? It will be 5Y plus 7x is equal to rupees 50. And what is the second equation? 7 pencils means 7y plus 5x is equal to 46. So you have formed a pair of linear equations. Now you have to go ahead and solve it. So the first one is nothing but 7x plus 5y equal to 50, and the second one is 5x plus 7y equal to 46. Okay. Now for the first point, we have to again, as usual, find the at least minimum 2 points in order to draw the straight line graph. Okay, so here let it be your x and this is your y. For the first one, if your x is 0, what will be your y? Y will be 50. See here, if x is 0, this entire terms becomes 0. So 5y equal to 50, y is equal to 10. This is your first point. And second point is, if y is equal to 3, for example, if y is equal to 3, what will you get? 7x is equal to 50 minus 15, which is 35. So 7x equal to 35, x is equal to 5. So the point is nothing but 5 comma 3. Similarly, over there, x comma y, let's take few points. Suppose your x is 5. What will you get? What will be your, so 25 plus 7y equal to 46. 7y equal to 46 minus 25, which is 21. So y will be 21 divided by 7, which is 3. So here y will be 3. And another point can be, suppose if your x is nothing but minus 2, for example, then what will you have? If x is minus 2, then minus 10 plus 7y equal to 46. So 7y equal to 46 plus 10, 56. So y equal to 56 divided by 7. 8 sevens are 56. So it is 8. Again, let's go ahead and plot. Draw the straight line graph which are represented by these equations, okay, which can represent these equations. So first let me again change the color. So the first point is 0. So this is your point 0, 0 comma 10. Okay, so this is the point 0 comma 10. And the second one is 5 comma 3. So here you have your 5 comma 3. Right, let me draw a straight line joining the 2 points, because you can probably take another point as well. So this is your straight line graph. Okay. Now, on top of the line, what should you write here? As I told you, 7x plus 5y equal to 50. You should always make sure you write the equation. For the second equation, the points are again 5 comma 3. So again, this is also 5 comma 3 and minus 2 comma 8. So minus 2 comma 8 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So minus 2 comma 8. Right. Now again, let me draw the line joining the two. Okay, I hope it is clear. And again, I'll write the equation above. So this is nothing but your 5x plus 7y equal to 46 is represented by this blue straight line. And the 2 points meet at, where do they meet? They meet at 5 comma 3. So the point of intersection is 5 comma 3. Okay, so you can write, therefore, it is observed that lines intersect at 5 comma 3. Therefore, x is equal to 5 and y equal to 3 is the solution of this particular pair of equation. Okay, and what did we assume as x? X is the cost of one pen. Okay, you can write, therefore, the cost of one pen is equal to rupees 5 and the cost of one pencil is nothing but rupees 3, which is rupees y, right? Y is equal to 3. So that's your answer. This is your final answer. Again, it's very, very easy to solve it graphically as well. But the only time consuming part is for you to think of those x and y values. Make sure they are small and plottable. Okay, do not go for higher values of x and y. And it is preferred that you don't have any decimal points or fractions when you're finding it out. Right? So here is the graph, and using graph we have found the solution, which is nothing but the point of intersection. Now let's move on to the next question. Right? Here. Okay. So the second question is, on comparing the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2, find out whether the lines representing the following pairs of linear equations intersect at a point, are parallel, or are coincident. Let's take the first equation and do it. Okay. So here the first equation is nothing but the pair of equations 5x minus 4y plus 8 equal to 0. And the second equation is 7x plus 6y minus 9 equal to 0. So let's take what is your a1 by a2. A1 is nothing but this is your a1, coefficient of x in the first equation. This is your b1 and c1. a2, b2, c2. Okay, so you have to compare it with the standard form of the linear equations in two variables, which is nothing but a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. This is the standard form. So when you compare them, what do you get your a1 by a2? a1 by a2 is nothing but 5 by 7, right? What is your b1 by b2? The coefficient of y in the first divided by coefficient of y in the second one, which is nothing but minus 4 by 6. So here you can cancel it with 2. So this becomes minus 2 by 3. Now, you do not need to essentially find out C1 by C2, but still if you want, you can write what is your C1 by C2? It's nothing but 8 by minus 9 or minus 8 by 9, just for the sake of writing. But here the conclusion is a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. Whenever you have a situation wherein your a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, here that means it is a unique solution. It's a scenario for unique solution and the lines intersect at a point. So here you can write, so since a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, therefore the lines which are representing this particular pair of linear equations, the lines intersect at a point. Okay, the lines will intersect at a point. This is what you will conclude whenever you have a1 by a2 not equal to b1 by b2. This is how you have to do it, right? Okay, so in this particular scenario, you should remember that the pair of linear equation will have only one solution, or you can say unique solution, although it's not asked, but we should know. Okay, and whenever it has a solution, you can call the system as a consistent system. Because it has a solution, it is called as consistent system. This is just for your information that I have written it, but the main part is you have to just identify using the values of the ratio that you are getting whether the lines intersect at a point, are the lines parallel to each other, or are they coincident. So the first question, we have found that a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, hence lines intersect at a point. That's all you have to do. Now let's move on to the second question. Okay, here also we have to again take your a1 by a2. So what do you get? a1 by a2 is nothing but 9 by 18. And what is 9 by 18 when you simplify, reduce it further? 9 ones are 9, 9 twos are, so it's nothing but 1 by 2. Okay, what is your b1 by b2? It's 3 by 6. Again, it's nothing but 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, 1 by 2. And what's your C1 by C2 ratio? It is 12 divided by 24. Again, it is 1 by 2. So here, therefore, what you get is A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2. That is also equal to C1 by C2. Whenever all the three ratios are the same, are equal, that means the lines are coincident or they overlap each other. Okay. So for our second pair, we will say that here, therefore, the lines are coincident. What do you mean by coincident? That means they lie one over the other. And what kind of a solution will you have when your lines are coincident or when they are overlapping one over the other? You will have infinitely many solutions. Okay, you will have infinitely many solution, not just one solution. You will have many values of x and y which can fit both these equations which are given to you. Many more than one or two pairs of sets of x and y which will satisfy both the given pairs of equation. Okay, so this is what you have to learn. And when you draw it graphically, both the lines will intersect each other. I'm sorry, both the lines will coincide, overlap with each other. Okay. Now let's move on to the third question. What is the third question here? So the third question is, again, we have to do it the same way. Let's take the ratios. A1 by A2. What's A1 by A2? 6 divided by 2, which is nothing but 3. What is B1 by B2? Minus 3 divided by minus 1, which is again 3. Now let's go to the C1 by C2 ratio. C1 by C2 is nothing but 10 divided by 9. So therefore, what do you get? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but this is not equal to C1 by C2. So this is a scenario wherein the lines are parallel. You can write, therefore, the lines are parallel to each other. Here the lines are parallel, and in the bracket you can write they will not have any solution. The system is inconsistent. It's an inconsistent system. It does not have any solution at all. Okay, these are the three scenarios. Let me repeat it again. The first scenario, where whenever you have your A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, it has unique solution, system is consistent, and the lines will intersect at one point. It will be like this. In the second scenario, wherein A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, that's also equal to C1 by C2. In this case, the lines will overlap, or they are coincident over each other. It will have infinitely many solutions. And here also, the system is consistent. We can also say that the system is dependent on each other. Each equation is dependent on the other. And the third scenario is wherein you are getting A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but that's not equal to C1 by C2. In that case, here you cannot get any specific x and y values which will satisfy both the equations, these two. So here the lines are parallel, they will not have any solution, and the system is inconsistent. Okay. So these are the three things that we just now did. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, here the next question is, on comparing the ratios, the same way we'll have to do A1 by A2, B1 by B2, and C1 by C2. Find out whether the following pair of equations are consistent or inconsistent. As I discussed in the previous one, okay, whenever you have the first two ratios not equal, then the system is consistent. If all the three ratios are equal, again it's consistent. But if the first two ratios are equal and that's not equal to C1 by C2, then it's inconsistent. So let's find out. For the first equation, let's do it. Okay, for the first pair, you just have to find out whether the pair of linear equations are consistent or not consistent. That's all you have to find out using the ratios. So let's do the first question, that is 3x plus 2y equal to 5, and the second equation is 2x minus 3y equal to 7. So what's your A1 by A2? It's 3 by 2. What's your B1 by B2? It's nothing but 2 divided by minus 3. What do you find here? A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. Yeah, you need not calculate C1 by C2. So C1 by C2 will be minus 5 by minus 7 or 5 by 7. So the minute the first two ratios are not equal, that means it's a scenario wherein you have unique solutions. The lines will intersect at a point, but what is asked is to find out whether they are consistent. So here you can write down that, so this is a condition that satisfies for unique solution. It will have unique solution. The lines will intersect at a point. will intersect at one point. So this is just for your knowledge. And the system is consistent. And the system is said to be consistent. So this is something which you have to remember it, all the three. Right? This is your answer. Let's move on to the next question. Yeah. So the second question is, you have to take the ratios. So you are given, say, I hope you understood the previous one. Please do make a note of it. NCERT, each and every question of NCERT, you can take it as a learning. You have to learn something out of each of the question. Please practice it. It's very much needed that you practice all of these NCERT exercise questions. Okay, so the second one is nothing but 2x minus 3y equal to 8 and 4x minus 6y equal to 9. Let's take the ratios. What's your a1 by a2? Will be 2 by 4, which will be 1 by 2. What's your b1 by b2? You'll be getting it as minus 3 by minus 6, which is again equal to 1 by 2. And what will be your c1 by c2? Will be equal to 8 by 9 or minus 8 by minus 9 if you're taking your 8 and 9 to LHS side. So I will write it as 8 by 9. Now what do you observe? You will observe that here A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but this is not equal to C1 by C2 is what you have found out with the ratios. So here this is a condition of no solution, right? This here the lines will be parallel. They will not have any solution, no solution, and the system is inconsistent. The system is inconsistent. So this is your final answer. Okay, so whenever the first two ratios are equal and that's not equal to the third one, there will not be any possible solutions. The lines are parallel to each other and the pair of linear equations will be highly inconsistent. Okay, so this is your second one. Let's move on to the third question. So the third question is, again, let's take the ratio. So you're given the first equation is 3 by 2x plus 5 by 3y equal to 7. And 9x minus 10y equal to 14. Let's take a1 by a2. a1 by a2 will be 3 by 2 whole divided by 9. So which is nothing but 3 divided by, so 3 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 9. Again, so this is nothing but 1 by 6. Okay, so what is your b1 by b2? 5 by 3 divided by minus 10. Remember the sign. So this is nothing but 5 by 3 multiplied by 1 by minus 10. Again, here it is minus 1 by 6 is what you are getting. So here itself you will see a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. This is what we have found. And when the two ratios are not equal, that means it has unique solution. It has unique solution. And how will the system be? What are you asked? You are asked to find whether they are consistent or not consistent. So it is unique solutions. The lines will intersect at the point and the system is consistent. The system is consistent. This is what you have to write. Okay. That's all. So this is your third question. Just take the ratios and identify if the system is consistent or not consistent. Now the next question. I think you have one more, right? So the fourth question is nothing but similar. You have to do it the same way. So let's do it. 5x minus 3y equal to 11 minus 10x plus 6y equal to minus 22. Let's take what is your a1 by a2 ratio. It is 5 by minus 10, which is nothing but minus 1 by 2. What's your b1 by b2? Just take the coefficients of y. minus 3 by divided by 6. So minus 3 by 6, which is nothing but minus 1 by 2. So here you are seeing both first two ratios are equal. What is your C1 by C2? Here you will be getting 11 divided by minus 22. Again you are getting minus 1 by 2. So what do you observe? Therefore, here you have A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, and that is equal to C1 by C2. So here the lines will coincide. So you can write here the lines will coincide over each other, or they'll be coincident. Okay, they'll coincide or will be coincident. Right? And how many solutions will it have? It will have infinitely many solutions. Okay, infinitely many solution. And if it has infinitely many solution, the system is said to be consistent. It will be consistent system. So this is what you have to finally write. Okay, depending on the ratios, you will have to identify whether the system will have a solution, or if will not have any solution, then it is, if there is no solution at all, only then it is inconsistent. Okay, hope you understood. So we have done 4 questions in this. Okay, and there is another question. Okay, 5th question. Let's do the 5th question the same way. Okay. Okay, so the 5th question is nothing but again the same way. So 4 by 3x plus 2y equal to 8. And the second one is 2x plus 3y equal to 12. Let's take the ratios. A1 by A2 is equal to 4 by 3 whole divided by 2. So which is nothing but 4 by 3 multiplied by 1 by 2. So you can get cancelled, which is nothing but 2 by 3. What's your B1 by B2 ratio? Again 2 by 3. What's your C1 by C2? It's nothing but 8 by 12. So 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are, this is also 2 by 3. Again, what can I write? Therefore, I can write A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2. This is also equal to C1 by C2. So here the lines will be coincident. The lines will be coincident lines. That means overlapping lines. It will have infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. And how about the consistency? The system will be consistent. The system will be, you can write, the system will be consistent. Okay, whenever it has unique solution or many solution, the system will be consistent. Okay, let me write it correctly. The spelling consistent. ENT. I hope you understood. Okay, so you have to practice more and more questions and remember these conditions. Okay, for unique solution, for infinitely many solution, and for no solution. Okay, so we are done with 3 questions. Now let's go ahead and do the 4th one. Okay, so what's the 4th one here? The question is, which of the following pairs of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent? Very similar to what we just saw. And if it is consistent, you have to obtain the solution graphically. First of all, let us take the first question the same way. Okay, earlier we saw, right, using the ratios we will just find if it is consistent or inconsistent. If we find, or if we get that the system is consistent, you have to obtain the solution graphically. Okay, here. So what is the first thing? X plus y equal to 5. And the second one, 2x plus 2y equal to 10. So if you take 2 common out, what do you get? X plus y equal to 10. And then x plus y equal to 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So both the lines are the same. isn't it? So here what do you get? This is your equation 1. This is your second equation. What do you see here? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. It's all the same, isn't it? So A1 is 1, A2 is 1, B1 is 1, B2 is 1, C1 and C2 is 5, 5 each. So whenever all the three ratios are equal, what is the condition? That is, the lines will be coincident. The lines will be coincident. It will have infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. And the system will be consistent. The system will be consistent. But what are you asked? You are asked, if it is consistent, you have to plot it. Correct? So let's go ahead and find the points. So, right? So what is the equation? X plus y equal to 5. Okay. So let's take for different values of x and y. Okay. So suppose if your x is 0, what will be your y? Y will be 5. Right? If your x is 2, for example, what will be your y? Y will be 5 minus 2, which is 3. Let's take some more points. Okay. Let me get a few more points. Suppose if your y is equal to 1, what will be your x? X will be 5 minus 1, which is 4. Right? So let's go ahead and plot it. And both the lines are the same. So it's nothing but two lines, two same lines, right? So let us go ahead and plot it. The first line is 0, comma 5. Where is this is 0? 0, comma 5 is this 3, 4, 5. Okay, 0, comma 5. 2, comma 3 is 2, comma 3. 1 and then 1, comma 4 is here. So let's draw a straight line passing through the 3 points. Okay, and let's write what is the equation. X plus y equal to 5. Now here if you see, let me write the points also. So first point is 0, comma 5. Here it is nothing but 1, 2, comma 3. 4, comma 1 is another point. Okay, 4, comma 1, 2, comma 3. Okay, here I think there I made a mistake here. There is no point here, right? 2, comma 3 is another point. Okay, so 2, comma 3, 4, comma 1 is another point. But again, see 1, comma 4 is also another point. Okay, whatever points are lying here, 3, comma 2, all of these are solutions, right? Which means what? It has infinitely every point in this line, every other point. So for example, it's minus 1, comma 6, minus 2, comma 7, right? 0, comma 5. 1, comma 4, 2, comma 3, 3, comma 2, 4, comma 1, 5, comma 0. All of these are solutions. So how many solutions are there? What do you observe? The lines are overlapping, right? So first line is also the same line, second line is also the same line. The lines are overlapping. All these lines are coincident. It has infinitely many solutions. Many solutions are there, right? More than one solutions are there. So wherever these all the points through which this line passes through, all of them are solutions. So that's why we say infinitely many solutions. Okay, so that's all about it. Okay. So you can write possibly as an answer, you can write what can you write? 0, comma 5, 2, comma 3, and then 1, comma what is 1, comma 4, right? And then 3, comma 2. All of these are the solutions of the equation. These are all solutions of the given pair of linear equation. Infinitely many solutions. Okay. It has infinitely many solutions. Okay. This is your final answer. I hope you understood. Now let's move on to the second question. Here, x minus y equal to 8 and 3x minus 3y equal to 16. So what is your a1 by a2? a1 by 8 is 1 by 3. What's your b1 by b2? It is nothing but minus 1 by minus 3, again equal to 1 by 3. But your c1 by c2 is nothing but 8 by 16, which is nothing but 1 divided by 2. So what do you observe here? We can say that a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but this is not equal to c1 by c2. So this is a condition wherein it has no solution. Okay, the no solution is one thing that you can say. What can you say about the lines? The lines will be parallel. The lines are parallel. And will the system be consistent or inconsistent? The system will be inconsistent. So these are the scenarios that you have to remember. Okay. So that's your second question. Now let's move on to the third one. Okay. We'll do it the same way. So the question is 2x plus y equal to 6 and then 4x minus 2y equal to 4. So what's your a1 by a2? It's 2 by 4, which is 1 by 2. What's your b1 by b2 ratio? It is nothing but 1 divided by minus 2. So here itself you are getting a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. Therefore, it is unique solution. Okay, it's unique. It has a unique solution. The lines intersect at a point. So you have intersecting lines. And how is the consistency of the system? The system is said to be consistent. Right? But in the question you are said, if it is consistent, you have to obtain the solution graphically. So let's obtain the solution graphically. So you have your 2x plus y equal to 6. Right? And the second equation is nothing but 4x minus 2y equal to 4. So for different values of x and y, we have to find the points x comma y. Okay. So for the first one, if your x is equal to 0, what is your y? Y will be 6. If your x is equal to, what can I take? Yeah, if your x is 1, in that case, what will be your y? It will be 2 into 1. 2 plus y equal to 6. Y will be 6 minus 2, which is 4. Okay. And coming to the second one, that is 4x minus 2y equal to 4. So let's take x comma y. Again, here also we will take, suppose if your y is equal to 0, 4x equal to 4, x equal to 1. Again, if your y is 2, in that case, what will you get? So 4x minus 4 equal to 4. So you'll have 4x equal to 4 plus 4, 8. X equal to, again, 8 divided by 4, which is 2. I think 2 points are sufficient. Let's go ahead and draw it. Okay, so the first point is 0, comma 6. So 0, comma 6 is here. 0, comma 6 and then 1, comma 4 is here. This is your first equation. So let's draw it. This is your first line. Okay, and let me write the equation. What is the equation? 2x plus y equal to, so 2x plus y equal to 6. This is your first line. The second one is 1 comma 0. Okay, so where is 1 comma 0 is here and 2 comma 2 is this point. Again, let me draw a straight line passing through these 2 points. So here is the line. Right? And then again, I'll be writing the equation which is 4x minus 2y equal to 4. And where does it intersect? It intersects at the point 1 comma 2. This is the point of intersection. Okay. Is it 1 comma 2 or 2 comma? It's 2 comma 2. Yeah, here it's 2 comma 2. Okay. So what is the solution of this? So therefore you can write, therefore the lines intersect at 2 comma 2. Therefore the solution is x equal to 2 and y equal to 2 are the solutions. Are the solutions of this specific pair of linear equation. Okay, so you have solved it. You have found that it is consistent and you have solved it graphically. So you can see here 2 comma 2, right? So that's the point of intersection. Now moving on to the fourth one. Again, let's do it the same way. So 2x minus 2y equal to 2 and 4x minus 4y equal to 5. So if you take the ratios, what do you get? A1 by A2? It is 2 by 4, which is 1 by 2. What is your B1 by B2? Minus will get cancelled again. It's B 2 by 4, which is 1 by 2. And your C1 by C2, which is nothing but 2 by 5. So what do you get here? Therefore, you will get that A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but this is not equal to C1 by C2. So therefore, here it is inconsistent. Okay, here the system is inconsistent. And the lines will be parallel to each other, and there cannot be any possible solution, so no solution. This is what you have to write. Is this clear? Okay, now moving on to the fifth question. Okay, half the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meters more than its width is 36 meter. Find the dimension of the rectangle. So first of all, let me draw a rectangle. So here let the length be L, let the width be your B. Okay, so you can write what is given here. Let's write what is given. You have to find the dimension. So let the length of the garden be L and the width or the breadth of the rectangular garden be B. What is your perimeter formula? 2 multiplied by L plus B. It's 2L plus 2B. So 2 multiplied by L plus B. What is given? Half the perimeter of the rectangular garden whose length is L is equal to 4 more than the breadth. Okay, and you are given that half of the perimeter. What is the perimeter? Let it be capital P is equal to 36. So let's substitute half multiplied by 2 into L plus B is equal to 36. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So you'll be getting L plus B equal to 36. This is your second equation. The first equation is L minus B equal to 4. This is your first equation. So let's solve 1 and 2. What do you get? Just add them. L minus B equal to 4. L plus B is equal to 36. B gets cancelled. So you will have 2L equal to 40 and L is equal to 20. So the length of the garden is, or the rectangular garden is 20. Just put in any of the equations. So let's put L equal to 20 in equation 1. So what do you get? 20 minus B equal to 4 minus B equal to 4 minus 20, which is nothing but minus 16. Therefore, B is equal to 16. Okay, so you can write finally, therefore, the length of the garden is equal to 20. Is there a unit given? It's meters. So 20 meters. And the width of the garden is equal to 16 meters. Okay, that's your final answer. Right? Now let's move on to the sixth question. Okay, so you are given the linear equation 2x plus 3y minus 8 equal to 0. Write another linear equation in two variables such that the geometrical representation of the pair so formed is intersecting lines. Now, the very first thing is for intersecting lines, for the intersecting lines, what is the condition? You should know the condition, that is a1 by a2 should not be equal to b1 by b2. Right? So you are given already the first condition. You are already given the linear equation. You are given the first equation, that is 2x plus 3y minus 8 equal to 0. So what can I write in place of a2? So 2 divided by something should not be equal to b1. Okay, so this is your a1, b1, c1. Okay, but we are only focusing on a1 by a2 should not be equal to b1 by b2. So 3 divided by what? What can I write in place of 2? So if I can write here 2 by 2 should not be equal to, I can write 3 by 9. Right? In this case also, I will be getting what? It will satisfy the condition for intersecting lines. That is a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. You have to write another linear equation. So you can write another linear equation would be, what can it be? 2x plus 9y minus 14. Any number you can write equal to 0 can be your another linear equation such that the representation as a pair. Okay, with respect to the given equation, you are also forming another new equation which satisfies the condition for intersecting lines. So here also, if you take the 2, a1 by a2 will not be equal to b1 by b2. Therefore, it is intersecting. Now, let's move on to the second one. Okay, for second one is nothing but for parallel lines. So, for parallel lines, what is the condition for parallel lines? a1 by a2 can be equal to b1 by b2, but it cannot be equal to c1 by c2. Right? So, for the given pair of, for the given linear equation, we have to find a pair of it. Right? So, this is given. Let me also write the same. Okay. So 2 is equal to 3 divided by something should not be equal to minus 8 by whatever. Okay. So here I can write, what can I write? 2 divided by 4 can be equal, this is 1 by 2. So 3 divided by 6 again equal to 1 by 2, but it cannot be equal to minus 8 divided by minus 8. So here it will be 1. Okay. So this can be another equation. Now moving on to the third one. What is the third question? For coincident lines. So for coincident lines, all the three ratios have to be equal. So this is the given one. Again, let me write the condition first of all. A1 by A2 should be equal to B1 by B2 and this should be equal to C1 by C2. So the first one is 2 divided by should be equal to 3 divided by some variable y should be equal to minus 8 divided. So you can multiply it with 2. So it's 2 to 4, 3 2s are 6. Minus 8 into 2 it's minus 16. So if you take the ratios, it will all be 1 by 2. Okay, so here it is going to meet the condition which is coincident. Is it clear? Okay, so you just have to come up with another. So make sure you understand this particular, condition. What is the condition for coincident line? What is the condition for parallel lines? And what is the condition for intersecting lines? If these three things are known to you, you can do a lot of problems. Okay, then the last question of your exercise 3.1. Draw the graphs of the equation x minus 1, x minus y plus 1 equal to 0, 3x plus 2y minus 12. Determine the coordinates of the vertices of the triangle formed by these lines and the x-axis and shade the triangular region. Again, a very, very good question. Let's do it. Okay, so the first thing is x minus y. I can write it as equal to minus 1. Okay, so x and y. Let us find some points for the first line And the second line is 3x plus 2y equal to 12. So again, let us find out some points for x and y. Okay, so the first one is if x is equal to 0, what will be y? Y will be 1, right? If x is equal to 1, in that case, what will have? 1 minus y equal to minus 1. So you'll have minus 2 that side, minus y. So here will be y equal to 2. If y is equal to 0, suppose if your y is 0, what will be your x? X will be minus 1. So we have got 3 points. On the other side, here, if your x is 0, what will be your y? Y will be 2y equal to 12, y will be 6. If your y is 0, x will be 4. 3x equal to 12, x equal to 12 by 3, which is 4. And then if your if your y is 3, 3x equal and x equal to 2, 2 comma 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot these 2 points. So first line is 0 comma 1. Let me plot it. 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 1 is here. Okay, and then 1 comma 2. 1 comma 2 is here, and then minus 1 comma 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw a straight line which is joining all these 3 points. So this is your first line. So what is the equation of the line? X minus y equal to minus 1. What is the second line equation? The point 0 comma 6. So 0 comma 6 is somewhere here, and then 4 comma 0 is here, and then 2 comma 3 is here. Again, let me draw a straight line. And write the equation which is being represented by that straight line, 3x plus 2y equal to 12. Where do the lines intersect? The lines intersect at 2 comma 3. Okay, so we can write down that the lines intersect at 2 comma 3. That's the first thing. And what is the question asked? Determine the coordinates of the vertices of the triangle formed by this line. So what are the vertices? See, the first, this is one of the vertex, right? This is the other one. Which is the other one? 3 vertices. So this is one vertex. Second vertex is minus 1 comma 0, and the third one is 4 comma 0. Is it clear? So you can write down the vertices of the triangle. So write down, therefore, the vertices of the triangle formed are number 1, 2 comma 3, minus 1 comma 0, and the third point is 4 comma 0. Okay, and you have to shade it. Okay, you can probably use a good color and shade these. Can you see this? So this is the triangle which is formed. You have to shade that triangle. So that's all for your exercise 3.17 questions, and all of them are very, very important. Make sure you're doing it. So I hope you understood. Please do share your feedback in the comments if it was helpful, and see you all in the next video related to exercise 3.2. Thank you so much. Happy learning.